a Christmas of more with Spar.
And now we're exactly less than a month before we hit 2024. Head and welcome on a Thursday evening where we bring you live the Temidlalo edition. We look at other sporting codes despite from what we saw on Monday when we were just looking at football. So the Thursday edition just gives you focus on other sporting codes. Now, today's show will give full attention to the one of the top athletes when we talk about swimming in the country. That is Luca Fraser. He was in Rwanda attending the Zone 3 games last week, where he returned home with medals. He was not alone because he was in the company of Kendra McNamara. The two athletes managed to represent well with the presence of this coach, who happens also to be the acting Eswatini Swimming Association president, Mr. Welcome Tlaba. So we just have a talk. What happened in Rwanda, in the capital city of Kigali, for the country to return home with something like this. I'm talking about serious stuff, medals. 2 golds, 1 bronze, and 1 silver. That's just for one man. What can we do as a country? All about victory. Now, moving on to that, there is Tekbor. Tekbor, unfortunately, on the other side, they were part of the 2023 World Cup that is currently ongoing in Thailand. Our two representative being Menzi, Mnisi and Sposetu Skonza are already out of the tournament. But there was a bit of hope when they were competing at the last 32 stage. So finally, the end result said that they could not carry on with the remaining competition. But that was enough for them just to make the country proud. It is the first appearance since the inception of Tekbor in the country that has been since in the country in 2019. But 4 years later, the team was in the World Cup. Quite impressive. Now, beach volleyball, in preparations of the All Africa Games in next year in Ghana, also there's something that we're talking about when it comes to beach volleyball. Where are they in terms of preparation? We know that we have a facility at Olympia Africa Lobamba. It was well used this past weekend, as you can see from your screen. This is the team in preparations for those qualifiers. Otherwise, moving on, the third edition of the Mbabane Half Marathon took place this past weekend. That is the Mbabane Marathon that was taking place for the third time. Over 1.3 Eswatini, including international athletes, took part of this great marathon that has 21, 10, and 5 kilometers. We'll have a full discussion with our in-house analyst, Linda Dlamini, who was at the location, what went well, what went wrong, where can we improve as a country in organizing such tournament. Now, in moving time, we talk about hockey, we talk about tennis, we talk about also a bit of football in other sporting courses, just to give you a variety of what we have to talk about on this evening. Once again, get your chance to watch us. This is hockey. This equipment is equivalent to 100,000 emalangeni, and it's all the way from the Netherlands. That's where it's coming from hockey, Netherlands Hockey Federation. So they donated to the Hockey Eswatini. So we'll have a full discussion about all these details live here on Eswatini TV. You can watch us on YouTube live. If you have Skujan at home, sit tight, because this is about feeding you the best sporting activities in the country. Now, they're in the studio. I can't wait because, I don't know if I'm compromised in giving details. I have, half of my blood is from the country where these men were. Where the tournament was taking place in Rwanda. Half of my blood is here in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Including our coach, Rwanda. I know you had a good time, but we want to talk about this. We want to talk about this, the victory, what this now is a man. I'm no more calling him a young man because he's hitting the stage. What this man he has done in the company of Kendra McNamara. Nguvu Sere, coach.
Siyabonga Fabrice.
All right. Luca Fraser, I think right now the record set itself. You're doing what is supposed to be done. You're doing great. Once again, congratulations for this.
Thank you.
Your presence here means a lot. How excited are you for you to go and represent the country? We'll talk about the medals, but the journey itself, you left here, you went to Rwanda for, I think, 3 to 4 days preparing for the Zone 3 games, international countries. I know you're overwhelmed, but for you to represent the country and come back home with this?
It was really scary because I hadn't ever versed anyone there before. It was my first time going to Zone 3 as a Zone 4 country.
Yes.
Yes, so it was very like, it wasn't per se that I wasn't ready. It was just that I needed more time to like process what I'm going to.
All right.
Yes.
Coach, we talk about, let's focus on, I know you took 2 athletes coaching. You took Luca Fraser and Kendra McNamara, but there's Luca Fraser here who came with all these medals, medals, and the value of the medals. Coach, he's only 13 years old. For the sake of the viewers, he's only 13 years old, and you've been with him since he was 7. So ukonile kumqeqesha for the past 6 years. Utsini ngale improvement yakho? I mean, in terms of how he's growing as an athlete to the international standard.
Fabrice, I always work in my long term. I've always said this. When I see an athlete or when I work with an athlete, it has to be a long term. I'm not one for quick results. Like you're saying, we've been with Luca. I spotted Luca at an inter-school competition. He was 6, but swimming under 8. And I begged his mom to bring him to me for training. And and this is where we are now. We've been in this journey for the past 7 years. Our goal is 2026 Youth Olympic Games.
In Senegal,
In Senegal. We want to qualify for 2026. Even if it's a big qualifier, as fun we are a wild card, we want to qualify for those games. So this is our journey to 2026. So we are, like Asho, Luca, we are in Zone 4. But my plan is we want to test all the zones before 2026. So Zone 2 is different from, Zone 3 is different from Zone 4. So it was different ball came out together, different competitors, let's not bad.
Yes. Let's shy away from what you're talking about. You're talking about long term because these visuals I'm seeing, we'll talk about it at some point, but you seem to have passion for young, upcoming athletes. The group that we just saw in the water, some of them are young as 7, 8, and that's how you met Luca. And look where he is. These are kids. I was there, and I was shocked how they're taking instructions from you. Now, we say, no, fast. Look at how young they are. That is Harper, yes. That's Harper.
One of upcoming
they're under 8. And they talk about how they just love being in front of you. You give them instruction. So, Fraser, can you reflect to your time when Mr. Shabatsi spotted you as young as you were? You had to go through that journey.
Yes, we used to train at the University of Eswatini, and I remember I was always training with Coach Welcome in the first lane at the bottom of the club, and like there was 2 sessions, so I'd be at the first session where the beginners came, and then I'd see all the older people coming in, and I was looking up to them, thinking that would be me one day.
All right, Kingdom of Eswatini, this is Luca Fraser, made and created and everything in the Kingdom of Eswatini, one by one. As Minister of Sports, this is Luca Fraser. He deserves something and incentives. On his behalf. Now, Fraser, this is gold, right?
Yes.
What's the value of this? How much?
That is 8,000.
Emalangen.
Yes.
8,000 Emalangen. Please wait for the sake of the viewer. I don't want them to think that I came home with this medals. That's 8,000. How much is this? This is another gold, second gold. Can you see it on the camera? This is a second gold. How much is this gold? 8,000 Emalangen. All right. Okay. Apparently, when we just put them on, it affects the sound. But for the sake of the viewer, we won't carry on with the idea of putting them on. But now there is silver and there's bronze. Ne? How much is the silver?
5,000 emalangeni.
5,000. So already, when I'm talking there, you're winning 16,000, the 2 golds. With silver, that is 21,000. Eh?
Yes.
And then you add a bronze of
3,000 emalangeni.
so you are 24,000 richer. As a junior athlete, under the age of 13. Coach, once again, congratulations. What's your say on that, Coach?
On the issue of
The performance.
each performance, I was excited because now Luca is just 10, 13. So Usuma age attack or that's 13, 14. So the guys he was swimming with are 14, turning 15. So those are the guys that gave him competition. Lana Labana 13 Nabo. If you look at the results, they're like 10 seconds behind, 5 seconds behind, which means the bigger boys actually pushed him. So what does that mean? It means next year when we go for the same competition, he'll be 14 and he'll be top of the age group. So you expect more medals, you expect more gold from him next year.
What was your reaction, the reaction of your mom, your parents when you came home?
I think I'm really appreciative of my mom and father for coming. It really pushes me to do more, and I just love the support. Yes.
Tell us your journey. I mean, you wake up in the morning. There's a young athlete, probably at the age of 12. He or she wants to be like you. How do you do this? I mean, you wake up. What time do you meet coach? You have school as well, like everyone. What's your lifestyle to ensure that you get the medals?
So I wake up at about 6 and get ready for school. Then I go to school and I have sports. I also do basketball. So I get home at 3:30 and then I eat, get ready for training, and then go train and get home, eat, study, and then sleep. Yes.
Coach, you're in Rwanda, the capital city, Kigali, one of the cleanest city, if it's not the cleanest actual city on the African continent. We're talking about a country that now is on the verge of actually bidding for the AFCON competition itself. So they're growing as a country. Let's talk about the hospitality when you landed, competition-wise, facilities, but nanfiganje, you were overwhelmed by the place.
Yeah, Fabrice, it was good. That's figure basmele because remember we are not from that zone, so we're like
we're from zone 4 because South Africa, Lesotho, Mozambique, it's zone 4. Then zone 3, it's up there, Uganda, all those countries.
Yes. So we were like guests, Lapa. So Basmogela, which was good, took us to accommodation, which was good. Facilities, yes, they got good facilities, but there were a bit of hiccups there and there. Issue of diving blocks and issues of my lane drops. They wanted proper lane drops we were used to. But the spirit of the countries that they just put all that aside and wanted to compete and race and make it happen. And I mean, it actually it happened. And the competitiveness yangale is at another level between both Uganda and Tanzania. Especially, I'll just mention the two. Compared, when you come to Zone 4, anyone can win it sometimes. As the competition, there's South Africa, there's Zambia, there's Zimbabwe, but it's just Uganda and Tanzania, they're just fighting for that. So it was really, really, really interesting to be part of that.
Anything that, maybe before I come to you, Fraser, anything that you saw interesting that coach we can also pick and use as a positive in terms of facility, the size, maybe the hostility of the facility, heated pools and all those things. I know it's summer. Anything that you think they are doing well that we should adapt, going forward.
Nothing but kuba ne facility that, and when you listen to them, they were saying, and the way the government was involved in the whole thing, you get to the hotel, you can't the Minister of Sports, Minister of Health, Minister of what, they're all making sure we are all covered and safe. We are all safe and everything in Hambagat, and the facility, it was a big pool, a 50 meter on the side, a 25, but they decided to use the 25 meter part, which also worked well for us. We are used to that, but we're not, we're basically we're 50, we're going to just go and swim. But I think also, psychologically, when you get to a pool...
Is this our facility? This is Manzini. Sorry to catch you, Mavuso.
Yeah,
is there an international standard that can host a game, the games we are taking part of?
No, we can't host games in Mavuso. What I think happened here is swimming was not consulted because it's a very good training facility, that's all I can say. But when it comes to hosting the lanes, Manganyana, and the Nale distance is not exactly but it's a very good a very good facility
Fraser,
for training.
maybe we look at the visuals. I think you've been here, you've trained here, but you're gaining experience. The more you travel, the more you take part of this competition. And I think Coach highlighted your competition in 2026. He's preparing for 2026. What's your experience when you're in Rwanda? I mean, you were rubbing shoulders with some of the biggest guys in that region. Were you threatened at some point? How did you hold yourself in terms of making sure that you get to the point of your need?
Yes, so before I went to Rwanda, I actually thought I was really tall until I saw everyone from Uganda. They made me look really short, and it was actually amazing that I could actually get a gold because those people are really fast and they pushed me to the best of my ability. Yes.
Accommodation-wise, in terms of weather conditions, were you affected, or temperatures, everything went accordingly?
It would rain most of the time, but then it would cool down. Yeah, it was. The hotel was really nice. Everything was okay.
I remember when he posted on social media after winning your first 50 meters backstroke, right?
Breaststroke.
Backstroke. And I think people were all over the moon. I want to understand your reaction to you when you realized that actually you were the winner with the gold medal.
I was really excited because we had all gotten 22 seconds. So I had beaten them by splits, which was really exciting because I was just in the moment. I was happy and I was excited, and just all the emotions came to me.
It's a great performance, Fraser. I don't want to lie to you. Coming home with such medals, let's not look at the value of the money. I think for me, it should actually be more than this. If you came back home with gold, so it means that actually as a country we should be doing something. But what do you think? And be free. Don't look at the coach and anything. What do you think? What do you need? What do you think you need going forward? Whenever you want to compete, in terms of support, in terms of what do you think you are lacking that you need? Whenever you're representing the country, you should be having it so that you compete in a better way. What do you think you need?
I think in Eswatini we need a 50-meter pool because of when we go to zone 4 or when we went to zone 3, we are supposed to use a 50-meter pool, but for zone 3 we ended up using a 25-meter pool. Yes, so I think that's about it. And also sometimes funds, like sponsors, because sometimes people don't have enough money to go, or parents just use a lot of money.
Yeah, talking about your family supporting you, they have been so much involved. Coach, Nyamuva Fraser, talking about how now he's traveled, he's starting to see how things are done internationally. There is no doubt about your relationship and how they train together. Sicelo coach, as a coach, uphinda ube na-acting president of Eswatini Swimming Federation. Kuze kuthi nangabe sithi sifuna ukukhula as a country in terms of swimming, this is the direction. Ungene hulumeni lomusha, they should be listening at some point. Who knows? Ticelo takho titsini.
I think Fraser sobekile. We definitely need, we need a center, an aquatic center, which means a swimming center where it is, which is run by swimming. You know, we had an issue at some point where we couldn't access pools because maybe it's either the people charge so much, a lot of money for us.
Need just swimming pool, it's the association.
Swimming pool. That's what we need, because in that thing, that's when you can now have all your programs together. You can have your programs from the land to swim up to what you are seeing now with development, and up to the likes of Boheli and Smanga and Boluka. But you need something. This thing must not in a program, because you can't tell me at some point we had to stop for 7 months because we had issues with the pool.
Yeah, this pool was off at some point.
Yeah, so I think something like that we really, then also then it comes to the issue of sponsors as well. I just want to highlight Nasfiga Rwanda. Before we left with about 3-4 invitations for him. We had Uganda coming, asking him to come for Uganda national champs We had another one from another invitation from Tanzania. They'll be having an international club competition, and the third one was from Dubai. So all those needs funds. You know, you can't just get up and get on a plane and go. We need. This is a project. You know, Luca is a project. Let me just say that. Because it's a project. It's 2026 and 2028 Olympic Games. In fact, we just don't want him to go there. We want him to go there and compete. You know, we've been sending guys to swim. Just, you know, we want to take it up. We're taking it up. But now we need partners. We need people who are saying we want to partner with this project. So now we boni Pumelela 2026, and that's all this is all about. Because we need to he's going during school holidays. He's going to Russia for a 3 weeks training camp. Or he's going to, so long as go in the Sisota, because we don't have the proper facilities and proper people like the team, because behind an athlete there's a team. Kune dietitian, kune physio, kune doctor.
Kulomzuzu is just you.
Kulomzuzu, I'm just.
No,
but I'm grateful to the parents with the support, because the parents are putting much support on.
Time is against us, Mr. Travasa. I know we'll have more time to discuss this. Fraser, it's your moment. Just say something before I let you go. But can you please first remove? I want to give you the four of them at the same time. But when you leave the studio, but this is a beautiful, beautiful achievement. Yes, tell us something before you leave. Time is against us. Yeah.
I'd like to thank my parents for coming to support me, my teammates for making training fun, my coach for always pushing me to do my best, and then my brother asked me not to do this, but Keenan Tucker for teaching me how to swim when I was younger.
Beautiful stuff. Thank you very much. To Luca Fraser, top junior swimmer in the country from the Republic of Rwanda, representing the Kingdom of Eswatini in the 2023 Kana 3 Games. In the company of head coach, acting president, he's emphasizing the importance of support financially. Kuvisana buhlungu ukuthi nakaphuma Fraser singeke sithi umele umndeni waka Fraser. He's representing the country. The country's flag was high in the capital city of Rwanda. These things because of him. Asikufaka lokuncane man. A short break. When I come back, our in-house analyst in Delta Min is in the studio. We'll discuss more other sporting codes. But this needs to be addressed after this.
This weekend Eswatini, your official weekend party starter. Tune in for the best of entertainment. We're bringing you the hottest music videos and live studio interviews with your favorite celebrities. We're giving you a front row seat to the latest fashion trends as well as your weekend gig guide. Join us live on social media and call in to send your shout-outs. Be sure to catch our movie segment where we review and give updates on all latest movies. Catch This Weekend Eswatini every Friday at 5:30 p.m. live on Eswatini TV.
Hello everyone and welcome to the show. You know the vibes, it's the beat down. The time is 8 p.m. It's time for you to relax. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the music videos that I got for you.
Moving no direction, like it's a calling. Alive in the middle of nowhere. Shake the ground and burn the air. So yeah, yeah. You don't have to hold back for anything or anyone. Just own this.
Now, I'm being joined by the in-house analyst, Linda Dlamini. He's here to give you full analysis to other sporting codes that we'll be talking about this evening, the last day of the month of November, and we're entering December. Nguvusele Nkosi.
Fabrice nguvusele ngibonge kakhulu ithuba lekumukela ihlelweni lakho ngitithuba lokukhulu ngivusele iloyal viewer Eswatini TV mbukeli lo hloniphekile ngicabanga ukuthi Fabrice le njongo lenkulu noma le nhloselo enkulu yalihlelo leli kufundzisa siphindze sikhombise kona eMaswati ukuthi kahle kahle kwendekala ini kulele etinye temidlalo for a very long time bamvu ba focus ku sport sinye but siyabona ukuthi ngathi lamanye ama sports nakayo simelela ngaphandle kukhona la kulethako lapha ekhaya. It's high time ke everyone nangikhuluma nga everyone ngikhuluma nga maybe ngumtali ngikhuluma ngesponsor ngikhuluma nga coach ukuthi ake atinike isikhathi afocus kulalama ama sports sike sidevelop na umvana Liswati ngoba naku bavelela babuya ekhaya netimendlela.
Talking about coming back home, Eswatini Techball Federation exactly on their way home, I should think so, after that early defeat in the ongoing World Cup, Techball World Cup in Thailand. One would say it's a defeat, but to me, in my view, it's a sort of an achievement, Master. That's why I would see this team was attending the World Cup for the very first time. In fact, the association was attending the World Cup for the very first time, having been, introduced in the country back in 2019. First World Cup, Master, kuambe tu ama athletes. Uwe Master, the overview analysis is in. Would see bendega habi ebadliwe salabete kaya noma just exposure. Kutsiba kunile kumelela live. It was on its own. At a World Cup on its own, it's an achievement.
Fabrice ngicabanga ukuthi ngidawuhamba ngeditebhisi ngubisele emva kancane kuthi kulomnyaka losetulu sitawukhumbula ukuthi yona badlali be-techball bahambile bawumelela live eTunisia emidlalweni ekuqala ema-African Beach Games lapho khona cishe badlala bekwekuqala singenela lo mcuzelwano lo bahambile ke ba eThailand usawukhumbula ukuthi eThailand behoste wona ema-World Championships eminyaka wa-2023 kulandzela ukuthi last year asikhonanga kuya khona labeka se-Poland nyaloko sikhonile kuya khona eThailand sahambisa ema-athlete lang-2 silive ngicabanga ukuthi ema-athlete lang-2 kungu men's wakamnisi naSiphosethu wakasikhonze bekadlala ke ema-singles ohamba Siphosethu siyakhumbula ukuthi ohamba Sunday, men's ohamba Monday.
This is men's
wakamnisi. Yes. unaSiphosethu ngala Siphosethu lo ngala madvutane namabona kutse wethu badlalile ke namuhla Fabrice ekseni nga4 bebadlala wona imidlalo yegcina yema group lapho khona badlalile bakhala phasi kulembili bawina munye lokusho ukuthi bebathola lithikiti lekuthi bachubekele esigabeni se last 32. Ngicabanga ukuthi Fabrice logo on its own ukuthi ku World Cup, because i World Cup yaka techball le ku World Cup singaphuma kuma groups sendlulele esigabeni se last 32. Ngicabanga ukuthi yinvo leyo lenkulu kakhulu ukuthi singahlula emave lamanye kuma groups sindlulele kuma doubles. Ngikhuluma ngema doubles sambileke sawudlala i last 32. Unfortunately ku last 32 sikhale phasi first set ibe ngu 12 2 second set kwaba ngu 12 ka 8. Nawubuka le second set Fabrice njengoba ngisho ukuthi 12 ka 8 ngicabanga ukuthi uyabona nawe ukuthi betiminyene kanganani kuyakhombisa ukuthi badlalile and nawubuka nangalendlela labadlala ngayo with confidence very 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 confident indlela labadlala ngayo so ngicabanga ukuthi lokhu kuyasinika insight njoba bengikhuluma ukuthi asesinakeni kakhulu lama sports bengikhuluma ngeswimming nyalo sengikhuluma ngetechball ukuthi nayi itechball siyayibona kukhona la ilele kwendako lekwenda ngcono sidlalile bebahambe na coach manager coach Naomi DuPont yes a veteran ku sports lesala kangwani ucoacha licembu le Malkens Vondos. She's doing very well so ngicabanga ukuthi Fabrice letinvo leti tiyasikhombisa ukuthi if maybe the focus ingenaba cishe onke lama sports onke lalabanye kuhamba uyodlala kuma World Championships kukufundzisa as a player because these two ngicabanga ukuthi currently lokuthi bahambe baye kuma World Championship kusho ukuthi badlale bagcama kunalabanye badlali i-exposure leyo look at how yena Siphosethu Isaac indlela lasimesha ngayo lathola ngayo ama point ngicabanga ukuthi uhledi uliswati uhledi ubukela lama clips uyabona ukuthi hayi bengikhuluma earlier on ekseni nga 5 ngikhuluma na Clinton McNamara lokwa cycling
yes
very very impressed umuvu lokwa cycling umuvu lo simjwayelo ukuthi different sporting code nalabanye lengengibabale labakhulu lapha event labajabule kakhulu labe batichenya ukuthi bamaswati after le performance ukuthi sindlulele esigabeni se last 32.
Now let's move to beach volleyball, another sporting codes. Nasikhuluma ukuthi kulamalanga it's all about representing the country. We're talking about All Africa Games qualifiers. The series now. Beach volleyball, a sport that we had to introduce a facility at the Olympia Africa Lobamba. The facility is there. There's no excuse. Now it's being used. The 7 is over the weekend. Begwenda master briefly.
Yes, beach volleyball. Njoba usho Fabrice ukuthi yavulwa ngalokusemthethweni kulomnyaka lo setule ivulela ukuthi ema sports lafana nabo beach volleyball nabo beach techball adlale lapha so kulembela somvo badlala ema qualifiers ke Fabrice kutathi lapha lababili bahambe bayomelela live kodwa ke baqala kumelela live kuma regional games so kudlaliwe ke Fabrice over the weekend ngicabanga ukuthi sibonile yes mhlambe kusekhona la kumele ukuthi ba improve khona sitaqala sibone ku regional tournament before sekuma Africa Games sibone ukuthi benda kanjani kulama regional games ngicabanga ukuthi nabo coach babo kusekhona la ukuthi bamele ukuthi babalolonge kakhulu khona bay deserve mhlambe le high performance training bangekho mhlambe la noma bala kuta dependa ukuthi bo coach benda kanjani otherwise ikhona room improvement.
Room for improvement. We can't wait. We want them to qualify. I know there was a stand long time to make sure that the country is being polished up in terms of athletes. It took some time. We had to work on this facility. But in terms of those who qualified, Master, I see them getting medals on the day. Names, specific names. Where are they? Where should they be now heading to compete at the end of the day? Can we say they have actually qualified? Noma kwana sinye sigaba kufune bendle kuso.
Yes, injoba usho Fabrice ukuthi le 2 le qualifyile lethwale wona ema gold medals. In fact, lona bekuyi series yesithathu.
These two who are in grey t-shirts, number
yes,
1, number 2.
Yes, the 2 akunandumiso wakamkhonda bese kuba nasanelo kamnzebele. Ngibo laba qualifyile. Njoba sisho ukuthi bekuma qualifiers lawa regional qualifiers because kumele ukuthi bayomelela live kuma All Africa Games so inhlangano lengamele wona umdlalo we volleyball because bekunase iseries ekuqala neseries esibili yathi okay iseries esithathu sitayenda ezema qualifiers sibuke ukuthi lalabangahamba basimelele kuma regional games bobani. So ukhona yena Ndumiso ukhona naye Sanele batawuhamba the two ngibo labahamba bawumelela live khona emidlaleni ema regional games Ndumiso kamkhonda naSanele kamzebela.
Regional games, if I'm not mistaken, Lesotho?
Yes.
Is it Lesotho? Yes, December. Should be December. Yeah. Now, we wish them all the best because we want those two athletes to head to Lesotho next month. That starts actually in a couple of hours to ensure that they do represent well the country and this year's regional games and later on qualify for the Ghana All Africa Games in March next year. Now, moving on, the 2023 Mbabane Half Marathon. This man was up early as 4 in the morning on the day. The starting time was exactly at 6. The starting time, if you know Mbabane, ngaphandle by Msakatweni by the circle, the corner, that's where the starting point was. Master, this is the 3rd edition, about 1.3, beg your pardon, 1.3 of athletes took part of this marathon, including international athletes. Jessica Fisher on the day, what did you get from this edition in terms of growth? Since it started, 2021, we saw the numbers, 500. Last year, we saw the numbers. We're talking about 1.3. But all the way from South Africa, and he comes and he wins it.
Okay, Fabrice, yona imbabane half marathon lebe ikhona lapha edolobheni laseMbabane yona lebe ihlukaniswe ngetigaba letinzathu 21 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 5 kilometers. Behamba ke Fabrice suka khona lapha ePrince of Wales. Ngenhlanhla lenhle ke Fabrice umsakato Eswatini TV ukhonile ukuthi uyisakade ama editions lamathathu lokusho ukuthi lemgcutselwane emithathu yembabane half marathon sikhonile ukuthi siyisakade singumsakade Eswatini TV difikile ke Dingijim njoba usho bashilo ke basembabane sibebagaze lokungenani 800 wetingijim kodwa kwagcina kufike etingijim letingetulu kwenkulungwane letingetulu wa 1000 yinvo lenhleke leyo Fabrice sabona ke tingijim tisuka khona lapha ePrince of Wales te 21 kilometers because 21 kilometers ayifanani ne 10 kilometers besibagathileke balapha ekhaya ukuthi batawuvelela bahlabane kodwa nawubuka ukuthi kule first 2 kilometers bekune group yekuqala lebeyicishe ingathi iyabambana hamba kanye kanye beyila kubo 12 13 kodwa nasekuchubeka ezekuchubeka yona le marathon.
This is Kumbuzo, right? The leading, yeah, I think lo leader kwenyalo.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
This is Kumbuzo.
Bakwathi nase kufikwa ngoba beyicala ePrince of Wales enyukele esifunzani high school nayifika ingangeni efandeni ithathe umgwaqo waseveni nayifika futhi eveni yenyuke ibheke ngathi ibheka kuManjolo nayifika ibheka kuManjolo ingene ekhathi kule township lelapha ngase Woodlands nayifika ikhuphukele Woodlands complex Woodlands yehlele Mbangweni nayifika eMbangweni seclean ingene Strashini industrial site eStrashini bese phinze yewelela ngesheya ikunel bloho lapha na usuka industrial site ungasibheka etindlini temajaji nawufika etindlini temajaji bese sowukhuphukela ngasevene groundini ubuye ngasesandla nawubuya ngasesandla Fabrice uyithatha lumgwaco ungena la khathi esandla uwelele ngentasi okay nawufika okay ubuyela ngasubuyela emva central ungafika central kuna na umgwaco longenako unyukela ngala khona le checkers ugudle wenyuke bese sowehlela ngala ngasuya esibhedlela eMbabane clinic nawufika ungena emagesini ubuye edolobheni wenyuke ngenhla kwe Ministry of Tourism ubuye ungene wece correctional
Ngicela ukuthi lokukhuluma la khona nje nya.
Yes, lana nje ngase uyongena ngase Ministry of Tourism headquarters yase correctional nawufika ke lapho ungewendlula esibhedlela nawufika undlula esibhedlela soshaya le robot nalile lihlanganisa esibhedlela lihlanganisa industrial site lihlanganisa cishe nje lomgwaco lomkhulu lingena eMbabane bese soyishaya industrial site eMbabane edolobheni wewele nalibloho Joho ngathi soya esikolweni kaBoys nawufika kaBoys kaBoys kuna se-MDS primary uhamba kulomgwaqo lo kunemaphoyisa ngala kune St Francis wegudle lesekli evangelical esonveni uhambe Fabrice nawufika kule sekli likuthatha ibhek sefandeni likuthatha ibhek seveni likubuyisela edolobheni eGolf Course seyakuthatha ke nyalo sekubuyisela emuva ePrince of Wales lapho khona ngululeko sengithi ngululeko bonkosi wakamavuso bekasatihambela yedwa Fabrice sekuvele kucaca ukuthi sevele nguye iwina iminyaka wa2023
a great performance by Bongos Mavuso all the way from KwaZulu-Natal in the Republic of South Africa. History tells us that he also won the 2019 Imbowe Marathon. He's entering at this point, Simbona on the pictures, he was entering the Prince of Wales in Babane, the starting point, exciting moments. Master, wakhuluma naye the move at some point, but what do you think maybe he has that's in a seat in terms of, you know, push hard and be the best? Because ngakhala nje on the day kusi nambuka Thekwini in terms of how the setup is, it's a flat place, but it's we seemingly have those mountains, but he managed to come and beat us in our own territory.
Yeah, ngicabanga ukuthi lokho umsite kakhulu Fabrice ukuthi i-level Eswatini akaqala ikhompyutha khona akaqala kuwina khona ngicabanga ukuthi ingijimi litanga phandle kwakuleli titilungiselele kuyo yonke imicuzelwano lebakhona beta batilungiselele. So ngicabanga ukuthi Fabrice kuthi angahamba awine naye washo ukuthi kuyehlukana ukukhona lapho agood khona kukhona lapho naye afika strictly khona, but ngenhlanhla ngala kubomake Thobile ngwenyama wabese siyakhona ukuthi asimelele kahle kube nguye lo hamba phambili esigabeni se21 kilometers wahamba wafike wayiwina. Ngicabanga ukuthi it's a good thing because kuMbowe marathon siyibonile ukuthi 21 kilometers wawinwa ngumuntu wangaphandle even the main race nayo yawina ngumuntu wangaphandle. So nyalo kwenteke ngicabanga justice ngala kubomake, but ngala kubobabe yena bonkosi wakamavuso wahamba phambili.
I want us to talk about how the event was organized and everything, you know, in terms of schedule. Was everything actually on time? Where do they think now personally they need to improve? Where do we think, in our opinion, they need to improve? But prior to that, I want us to listen to the athletes who outshined others on the day, including Bongos Mavuso, all the way from the Republic of South Africa. He's going to give us his intel, what he thinks he did to be the first on the day. A mixture also of team organizers, all the way from the municipality council that are the actual organizers of the tournament. I mean, all those people, just to give us the picture of what happened on the day on Saturday during the third edition of the Babane Half Marathon.
Race bekuyirace bikade tough kakhulu because inama hills amaningi, so mina ngokwamangena umuntu ojwayela ama hills because eThekwini nako awekho maningi kangaka ama hills, kodwa nje ngithi uma ngifika la ngayithola i-challenge yama hill, but overall it was a good race. Yeah, I know la Eswatini ngijwayele kakhulu ukudlala because ngeke ngawina iMbowe marathon ngo2019, so vele bekade ngisitshelile ukuthi from the start maybe u3 kilometers ngizohamba nalo ibhantshi, but then after the 3 kilometers ngizozama uku-challenge abantu engikhompyutha nabo, ngibateste ukuthi how the strong they are. So ngibonile ukuthi uma ngibatesta abakwazanga ukuresponda, so ngicabanga ukuthi bengistrong kunabo.
Kahle la makuphela 2 kilometers ngifikele kuzina nje lokungaye emuva ngalo swendeni and ngihlalele emuva isikhathi esithi solo ngibalandzela because bahle bese la kuthene khona i10 kilometers bese sengibanga number 4 ngicabanga ukuthi ngihleli kwaze kwangisayisa ungena ama kilometers lang 16 la ngifike ngabe sengiphinze ngibuya khona ngabe sengiyaqinisa speed sami ngisolo ngisakha kulamalanga lawo because bengiyathi ukuthi singa speed la ngasegcineni kuze khona kuyiwina at least, but okwendekile this man was very fast than me.
Uma ngedinkhani sato supporter lo msebenzi lo ngendlela esikuwa ngayo ukuthi vele tindzaba tekuphila i-physical fitness, wellness at work takhiwa ngitodona letinto leti ukuthi umtimba siwushukumise. Siyabonga kakhulu nje umsebenzi oluhamba kahle kakhulu emawinasi ayangena nalabanye-ke yesi siyabona lokhu sivele yinto lasebayijwayelele yes labanye bayacala namhla kugijima but nje ikakhulu sibonga kakhulu nomsebenzi wayo uhamba kahle kakhulu. Cha lidolobha vele lisebenza ngale ndlela ukuthi le wellness ngiyona base yako konke for one to be productive funa aqale aphile kusho ukuthi yonke lemidlalo nje kancane kancane nje uyibala yonke lo loyibalako isetha ungeteka naleminye idolobha laseMbabane libe labantu abaphilile.
Nasi besiplanele ukuthi aba ngumsebenzi kepha ke nasibuka kuyikakhulu kade abagijimi nje besibale lapha usister uyela kubo 800 sesiyamangala nyalo over 1.3 babe baningi kakhulu abantu abafikile and lesase salikhulu kakhulu siyabona abantu beMbabane bayakuhalela lo msebenzi ofana nalo konke kuhamba kahle kakhulu msakathi sibonga nje kuphuma kwabantu beMbabane nalabo lekunye sikunothisile akusibo baseMbabane kuphela khona baphume South Africa labetile nabo phuma kulamanye amadolobha ngibabone nje meya usimankaya nagijima naye la kube into lenkulu kakhulu sasa salibe sedulu kakhulu.
Now, that was the actual picture of what happened on the day. My master ngathi uyachubeka la kanzi bofuna kubuta umbuto. Sengangunika lithuba ukuthi what did you want to ask Mr. Bongani Dlamini, the acting CEO? But I want to talk about the event itself. Was it well organized for you, Master? No? Do you think there are some loopholes? They need to improve something?
Okay, Fabrice. I-event ngicabanga ukuthi bayi-organizer baseMbabane nokufaka ikhathi nayo i-athletics Eswatini lokubambisana bokubona ukuthi kukhona bekakhona ama-water points nesikhathi sekuqala kwale event asicalanga late kakhulu yes bosashayile 6 asicalanga late kakhulu ama-water points bekakhona kodwa la kuma-water points kudzinga ukuthi bonke labantu labalapha kuma-water points ba-understand ukuthi bakhona ama-water points leni yini umsebenzi wabo kumele benteni nakuchamuka ingijimi ifike icela emanti. Okay, ngicabanga ukuthi lokunye mhlambe ngamsherishela nje umbukeli sabona lapha ukuthi kulenye water point uyafika lo munye i-official iphethe tray lalamanti ufike ungena lambi kwale ngijimi ugathe ukuthi eme lengijimi kanzi akemi lo muntu uyabona nakaphethe leli tray ugathe ukuthi awuliphasi leli tray uphatha lamanti ufike umnike nakubita futhi ukuthi ugijime naye umnike lamanti because yena vele kakhulu sikhathi lalwa naso ngicabanga ukuthi letinvo leto kudzinga ukuthi batilungisa otherwise a very good a race well organized nangayibeka kanjalo ngicabanga ukuthi ihlelwe ngelicophelo lelisetulu kakhulu ngisho nje ngibashayela itandla baseMbabane ngibashayela itandla kodwa ke lokunye mhlambe lengingaphinze nje yes ngiphinze ngiyati ukuthi akhona umbukeli ukhona umbukeli lo thola ukuthi yena kangenelana vele nematubane but uyati lokuthi kutabe kunematubane edolobheni laseMbabane cela ukuthi bahlonishwe phela kuyo yonke lo mgwaco la batabe bagijimela khona bahlonishwe phela ikakhulu kade nasongena khona edolobheni ngoba loyo 3 seconds 5 seconds kwedlula leti ngijimi kude mhlambe lokutakudla kanganani ngakuwe nalokuthi ke amaphoyisa asuka khona awahlonishwe phela kulandzele tonke letimbawu letsuwe tibekiwe.
They have it. Not only does he give you analysis, but he recommends ownership, and he also recommends what should be done in line to achieve what we want to achieve as a country when it comes to sporting courts. Now, moving on quickly, in our sports round, we've got tennis, we've got hockey, we've got football, and we also have to quickly love and leave. But starting with tennis, you can separate tennis with Eswatini Bidding Society, where over the weekend, this is one of the tournaments that they held. Quickly, Master, Bokona Wendegani, and what did you pick from this tournament?
Fabrice ngempela sonke bechubeka iSBS Club Championship lena ke Fabrice ngumgcuzelwano wemidlalo welibhola lemphebedo wemaqembu lokusho ukuthi onke emaqembu la ngaphasi kwayo inhlangano engamele ilibhola lemphebedo lapha eVeni bekadlala ngempela somvo asikhombisa lamaqembu but lesabona ukuthi kuma finals more especially kuma singles sabona licembu leAcers litholana nelicembu lemhlume ngicabanga ukuthi imhlume they are doing very well. Acers they are doing very well. Kunebadlali ke Fabrice kukhona badlali ngala kumhlume kunasakhizwe ngicabanga ukuthi ngala kuAcers kunatanzile ngikhuluma kuma females they are doing very well but ke gcineni because kulama singles bekubonakala ngaselicembu lemhlume lihamba phambili kwase liyabuya ke licembu leAcers kuma mixed doubles la bese lama point because iwinner beyitholakala ngama point yabese seyihamba phambili Acers all round nje iAcers yagcina kungiyo lethole lo mhlomelo yahamba ekhaya na 7,000 emalanga ngicabanga ukuthi for the first time ever tennis ibambe tournament lenemali lengaka.
Now, quickly now, let's listen from those winners that our in-house analyst, the master, is talking about. Mostly the winners, the ladies on the day. What do they have to say about the performance and the tournament itself? Let's listen to them.
Bengidlala my last game, a final against Danzile, and it was a very tough game. Bengaqali ukudlala naye bese kwesithu ngidlala naye. Last time wawina and this time bengiditshelile vele ukuthi ngifuna ukuwina, but then mayisaqala game it wasn't promising, but then masekuhamba ngagcina sengibona ukuthi yeah ngidowina and then yeah I won.
Now, hockey as an association, also a sport itself that has an association in the country that is now existing for the past 5 years in the country. They had, support from all the way from Netherlands, where they receive equipment that is worth 100,000 emarangeni, according to one of the executive member of the Eswatini Hockey Federation, Tapsir Sati, the lady on the right side of the screen. She believes the same equipment will be used to develop the sport in their country, mostly that they have got programs to visit different parts of the country as they ensure that the sport is not only played within the Babane Manzini corridor. So that equipment that you just saw was being presented to the Eswatini Sport Education Council. I want us to listen to both people who were attending the event, being the Tapsi Sati herself and Dumsan Diwane, speaking on behalf of the council.
A relatively young association, about 5 years, and we're here today to present to the Sports Council and to say thank you, show appreciation for the assistance that they've given us in getting this equipment into the country. The equipment was donated by Hockey Dreams from the Netherlands, which is a foundation which is geared at looking at kukhulisa the sports of hockey all over the world. Sukela kuma grassroots level, and if ninaka kahle i-hockey sport le sibukeka ngathi sport sebantu labathide. So we want to move away from the perception lethi sport mba or sports lesi more popular is soccer. Yes, it is popular. If we open up other sports bantwana all over the country, then everything will be on the same level. We are looking at opening centers to develop the sport, starting with the Manzini region, based in Mhlambanyati, going to grassroots level, public schools. Then from Mhlambanyati, we're going to look at Shiselweni in Hlangano, where we'll open the next center. All of this we're going to do with the assistance of Hockey Dreams Foundation from the Netherlands. One region at a time, we will be opening up centers to develop the sports. They will be sending people and coaches to come and train other coaches to develop the sport in the country as well.
Now, rounding up our sports roundup, now we're talking about the Eswatini Football Association that has also ended the 2023 year calendar on a high note after awarding the teams that took part of the under-20 women's category of the 2023 women's football under-20 schools competition. So these are the schools within Babane Manzini corridor that are taking part of this under-20 women's competition. Hillside was the actual champion. They walk away with those medals, with, of course, a package of 4,000, and in the company of Ngwane Park High School, 3.5, and then Elangeni with the 3rd position. They went home with 3,000 Emalangeni on the day. Now, Football Association believes that they should work now in hand to ensure that not only this competition is played within Bavane Manzini corridor, as teachers were being awarded kits and other stuff to take to schools, but regions like Bombo and Chiselweni soon will also start to gaining access to such competition. Master Savarisa, what's your take on that? Siyasikala ukuthi competition very, I mean, in terms of, you know, the level of football for women is too low. Will this help what Football Association is doing?
Kakhulu Fabrice kakhulu, but understand the criteria eqala kumbabane manzini kuthi why because tikolo tineng in fact italent inengakhulu emaphandleni
Bekisela njengokuthi tikolo eshiselweni.
Everin Bering.
Yeah, one of the best.
One of the best.
Producing good players.
Oh, exactly. So now talk yes, Mbabane Central. Nayo you're one of the best. So ngicabanga ukuthi but ngivile nasibongile Skachel Fish akhuluma ukuthi vele babuke ukuthi benabe nelive lonke, but yona seyibongela Hillside ngekuhamba ekhaya nayo lenkomishi bathole imali nge-4,000 bese ukuthi iyona ingwane park ibesenza wenesibili ilangeni besenza wenesithathu. Ngicabanga ukuthi lokho kuthi abakhuthata even nebamfana bamambatana ukuthi bachubeke badlale umdlalo welibhola letinyawo.
Thank you very much, Eldamin. Time is against us. I'll see you later, Master.
Ngiyabonga Fabrice, ngibonga kakhulu na umbukele Eswatini TV.
There you have it. That's what we as Eswatini TV sports team under the Eswatini Television Authority, we had cooked for you for the entire edition of Temidlalo for the last day of the month of November. Until we meet again, which is going to be in December, we do say that as a team, no maganjar, sidlala kamnandi.